Okay, today at Speedhaus we let a Subaru slip in the garage. Today we're working on coilovers on this 2022 new gen Subaru WRX. We have Silver's Neomax coilover system. We have coilovers and we have end links for the front as well. And today we're going to show you how to install them. Okay, so far on this side, on the passenger side, I have the wheel pulled off and I have the two 19s. Two 19s are big old bolts right here. You got to pull those out. And then there's a clip on the side of the strut for this cable. You need to unclip that. And then there's a 12 millimeter bolt that holds this brake line to right here. You want to undo that, undo this, and undo this. And that gets this down away from the strut. And then on the top, we have 3 14s. I've gone ahead and pulled 2 of them. So once we pull that other 14, that whole strut assembly will come out of the car. Came out violent, didn't she? Just like that, she's out. Come on. So important step here. So this part sets your camber, and it's in a triangle up here, as you can tell. And you want this side to be horizontal like this. So there's only one way it's going to go in. So horizontal, this bolt's going to have to come up here. So the top of your triangle is going to be towards the front of the car. You don't want to put it in with that camber going this way. It's got to be this way with the car, horizontal with the car. Now Trevor's helping me here, but you can do this by yourself, just kind of slow. Oh, right there. Oh, also another thing. This top bolt has this spacer. Don't lose that spacer. Or washer, I should call it. The bottom one does not have it, just the top one. So another thing I'm going to mention, just so y'all don't forget, the original clip on the stock shock, you'll have to remove. Put it back into this one. We haven't done it yet, but don't forget that part. Okay, so we finished up the front, now we're off to the back. Bills have to come off again on the back. The rears are a little bit simpler for sure. You have one end link, it's kind of hard to see, back here behind the strut. You're going to have to remove that to give you some wiggle room on the car. And then there's a bolt right here. You have to pull that bolt. That should be the only thing you have to do down here. Now I have to go off into the trunk. So in the trunk we have removed most of the, whatever we want to call this, whatever this floor, part of the floor, and you'll pull this cover here. So basically you're essentially trying to get under here. There's 2 bolts. And those are the 2 bolts that remove the strut. So these push pins in the back here in the trunk that remove the carpet are kind of weird. You can't see the white piece. It's behind the black. So you kind of come in behind and try to stick your way in between those to get those apart. And then she'll come apart. Kind of show you. Just like that. That one came apart in both pieces, but it's okay. That's how you get those out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna pull those 4. That's gonna come back like this. I have this side already undone. And that gives you access to the 2 bolts on the top of the strut. Okay, so we have our handy dandy gigantic pry bar. And this is how you're gonna pull this strut out. Use a hammer, I don't care what you got. I mean, it's something long. Whatever you have very long at the house, this is what you're gonna use to do this. This is the easiest way to do this. If you have 2 people, it's gonna be the best way to do it. So we have our pry bar around between the strut and the hub, basically. So I'm just gonna show you where it goes to. That's where we're at. See what we're doing here? You're gonna pry on this thing. And voila. Then you're just gonna pull it out and you're done. Then you put the new one in. Ta-da! That was easy compared to the last one.
I was like, why didn't y'all tell me that was hard?
Earlier it was hard.
It's always hard when I'm not around. And then it's like, oh, comes right out.
Yep. There we go. Cool. Oh, up. Cool. Oh, it's like we know what we're doing.
She's pretty tall.
Pretty tall. Step one of adjustment. Put the tires on with 2 lug nuts. Drop the car down. See where the car sits. Then you're going to start adjusting your coilovers from there. Right now we're tall. We're real tall. How to start adjusting. Okay, so once you get all of your coilovers in the car, you want to figure out your ride height. And the best way to do that is leave everything preset how it came out of the box, put them in the car, and lower the car down with your tires and wheels on. You get an idea of how the car sits. If you love the ride height, then lock everything down and you're good. But for the most part, you're probably not going to love it. So you're going to take your wheels back off after you took some measurements to figure out how far you want to go down. This is how you're going to adjust this. So this color here, these 2 colors here, basically lock in how much tension's on the spring. We like to just give it a little bit of tension, not too much, you know, just where it's not going to move around in here. And this color here is how you raise your height. You go down or you go up, and how you're going to do that is you're going to lock these 2 in place. You know, you're going to go one way, you're going to go up with this one and down with this one until you get this locked in place. So once that's locked in place, you're going to knock this one loose. Then you're going to take this and just grab one or the other because they're both locked in. And you're going to turn. You're going to go up or down depending on which way you want to go. And then once you get your ride height set, you're going to come back through and then you're going to lock this one in place. And that's how you get your ride height set. So now we're going to put the wheel back on since we have everything set in place and lower it down. So how we measured this car is we measured from the top of the fender here, or the bottom of the fender I should say, to the top of the rim. So we measured at 4 inches, so we're at 4 inches all the way around. And we're expecting a 1/2 inch to 1 inch settlement, usually about a 1/2 inch or so. So we know this car is going to settle another 1/2 inch. So be prepared for that when you set your ride height. Don't get it exactly where you want it. Put it a little bit higher than you want it because it's going to settle over time. About 50 miles, the car is going to settle down. So just be prepared for that. Alright guys, that wraps it up. WRX is sitting real good and perfect. We got our even all the way around. We went and drove it up down the street and back. No noises, rides smooth as it can be. So thanks for watching guys. Please like and subscribe to Speedhaus. See y'all later.